May it please the tribunal. Yesterday, the tribunal witnessed some films. There were shocking films, devastating films. As a German, I feel ashamed that such things could have taken place in my country. There can never be a justification for them. Not in generations, not in centuries. But I do think it was wrong, indecent, and terribly unfair of the prosecution to show such films in this case, in this court, at this time, against these defendants. And I cannot protest too strongly against such tactics.
What is the prosecution trying to prove? Is he trying to prove that the German people as all were responsible for these events? Or that they were even aware of them? Because if he is, he's not stating facts. But he knows he's not. The secrecy of the operations, the geographical location of the camps, the breakdown of communications in the last days of the war, when the exterminations rose into the millions, show only too clearly that he is not telling the truth. The truth is that these brutalities were brought about by the few extremists, the criminals. Very few Germans knew what was going on. Very few. None of us knew what was happening. The place is shown on these films. None of us. But the most ironic part of it is that the prosecution showed these films against these defendants. Men who stayed in power for one reason only, to prevent worse things from happening. Who is the braver man? The man who escapes or resigns in times of peril? Or the man who stays on his post at the risk of his own personal safety? The defense will present witnesses and letters and documents from religious and political refugees all over the world telling how Ernst Janning saved them from execution. The defense will show the many times Ernst Janning was able to effect mitigation of sentences when without his influence the results would have been much worse. The defense will show that Ernst Janning's personal physician was a non-Aryan, a Jewish man who he kept in attendance much to his own peril. The defense presents affidavits from legal authorities and famed jurists the world over, pleading that special considerations must be made in this case, saying that the entire work of Ernst Janning was inspired by one motive and one motive only, the endeavor to preserve justice and the concept of justice.